Hey guys and girls, how you doing today? Your boy Too Lazy for Life is back with the continuation of ReZero. We're on the second half now of season 2. I was told that this season was in split cur. Alright, so you had the first 12 episodes and then the second 13 episodes. So the last episode, we ended off on that one hell of a bombshell of a cliffhanger, the witch's tea party. Subaru was about to make a pact with Echidna, but then all the other witches came in, especially the big-titted blonde girl, Minerva's like, stop! Don't do that! Wait before you do that! And then all the other witches came in as well to, I don't know what the other witches were there for. I guess they were there just to try and, stop Subaru is kind of a bit of a stretch considering, a couple of them didn't really give a shit. And then you got to meet the Sloth Witch, finally, the one that Betelgeuse simped over that entire time. She definitely was slothful. She couldn't even be bothered to speak. She kept, sighing. It's like, I have to speak. The laziness, man. And I thought I was fucking lazy. She's even more lazy than I am. And, they all gang-banged Subaru, alright, and tried to stop him from making a pact with Echidna. And then Subaru finally, plucked up the courage to ask Echidna, so why do you want to pact with me again? Oh, so what's the deal here? What do you get out of this? And then Echidna just started rambling on for 5 minutes straight without any stops, man. I don't know how the VA did that, but that was incredible. All right, Maya Sakamoto there just going at speed running her fucking lines for 5 minutes at 100 miles an hour without tripping up a single word. That was incredible. And then Subaru realized just what kind of a nut Echidna really was. All right. She's got some screws loose. Probably the reason why she's a witch. Alright, I've been struggling to figure out why the Echidna was considered evil all of this time. She seemed pretty, she seemed pretty okay. But then you suddenly realize that she's that kind of a greedy girl. Alright, that would probably lead to the ruinations of everything. And that's probably the reason why she's been classified as a witch. And now why she's dead. Alright, she's been, I guess it was Sattler that killed everybody, right? Sattler was the one that destroyed all the other witches. And the thing is, Sattler destroyed all the other witches in this previous witch war, and she still had the nerve to show up at the end of the tea party, and all the other witches, okay, were just standing there you're not mad? All the other 6 witches there, you're not mad that Echidna was Echidna. Okay, had her teeth grit, angry-eyed face. The first time you ever got to see Echidna angry. I mean, last episode, you got to see many Echidna faces that we didn't get to see before. She kept putting on this false facade of calm and, happiness, smiling all the time. But then you got to see her with her resting bitch face, alright, staring up at Subaru. About showing some more emotion, showing some more, anger or whatever. And then she's like, alright, sure, the next time we meet, I'll show you what angry looks like. And then, she had that, oh man, that was awakening something inside me. And then at the end, she showed her fucking, angry, face of determination and worriedness that the true queen, alright, came in at the end, Sattler, about to grace everybody with her presence. That's all I remember from the previous episode. Yeah, I don't remember anything. I think that was about it, right? Subaru, woke up again after being eaten, right, by rabbits the previous episode. And then he sorted out Emilia as he always did, and then he went back to the witch's trial ruins building thing, and then he conked out, okay, and spent half the episode was spent at the witch's tea party. So that was all I remember for the most part. That was the majority of the last episode in a nutshell. And now we're gonna see what happens when Subaru faces the Witch of Envy herself once again. I mean, he bumped into her once, but now he gets to face her in her true form once again with all the other witches. This is gonna be interesting, man. I'm so excited. Can't wait to see what this is gonna be about. Alright, so let's get on with episode 13 now, guys, of season 2. Okay, so in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh, she wasn't supposed to be here. No opening again. Love yourself more. Man, Subaru's just relapsing all fucking series long. One moment he's talking about how big he is, and then he's gonna move on. Next moment he's back to self-deprecation again. Right? Episode 4, right? Episode 4 of this season as well. Just look, he's breaking down again. The self-deprecation overload. Love yourself more. She's the underrated witch all along, and she's also got a big fat fucking pair of mega milkers, man. Subaru's a lost cause. This character just keeps going round and round in circles in terms of development. One moment he's like, time to move on. Time to susume. I'm the main character. Next moment he's like, oh no, I can't do this. I'm such a pussy. There's no value in my own life. Damn, Natsuki Subaru with all 7 witches of the Infinity Gauntlet. Oh, tip hentai harem MC Kung isekai protagonist right here. Yeah. They all have some kind of twisted logic with the way that they see things. I still wouldn't really call them witches though.
ね、キドマ。俺は傷つくのが怖いよ。死にたくない。だから犠牲前提のお前の手はもう俺には取れない。
Oof.
それがあれば俺は死ぬこと以外でみんなに報い入れる気がするんだ。
それは茨の道だよ。死を道具と割り切れば差し出すものは君の心だけでよかった。
俺がお前に何度も救われかけたことだけは本当だ。お前が何を考えていたとしてもそれだけは本当だ。
なに、おせっかいと負け惜しみだよ。君に魔女たちはみんな根はいい奴らだったけど、エキドナは最後まで悪い奴だったなんて思われるのはごめんだ。
俺を死なせてくれようとしてありがとう。俺を死なせないでくれてありがとう。俺に大事な声を聞かせてくれてありがとう。俺にとって死に戻りは選択肢の一つなのか。それに頼りっきりにならないことが自分を愛することだって。
I still don't even know how he
大丈夫。
died to get here in the first place. How the fuck did he get to this world? Alright?
あなたが死んでしまう
Damn, look at that shot right
あな
there.
たの人がいることを忘れない。
Panoramic view of all 7 titans. I mean, all 7 witches.
必ず
Why do you look like Emilia, man?
私を殺しに来てね。
お前を救ってみせる。
Oh, thought the episode was over. That OST is so good.
どうして助けた？
どうしてってわからないんですか？あのですね、それが危ないと気づくや否や飛び出して自分が傷つくのも構わず助け出して目覚めて笑いかける。そうする相手への気持ちなんて人でも地流でも同じだと僕は思いますけどね。
Bro, I can't believe this fucking ground dragon is part of Subaru's harem.
いてくれんのか？
Huh? Man, when Garfield smashed her, pasted her all over the fucking ground when she was trying to drag Subaru out to safety, right? In like, I can't remember what episode. A while back. That was about to make me fucking choke up.
ちょっと、
今のは
That bitch.
もう何か。
やらなきゃいけないこと
She
がある。
rejected
お
him.
前はパトラッシュを厩舎に戻してくれ。
Well,
和尚を無視して聖域を抜ける方法？ずいぶん突飛な発想だ。どうやら私といろいろあったようだね。
他にももろもろ回収済みだよ。挑んで傷つくエミリアをこれ以上見てられない。
だからこその君だ。はあ、どうやらまだ君は覚悟の研ぎ方が足りてないらしいね。少しだけ、そう、少しだけ期待してしまったよ。いいかい？真に君がエミリア様のためだと思うなら、エミリア様の考えなど無視すべき。
well, at least Subaru's now starting to learn about how to put himself before others. Previously, he was just putting others before himself, being a selfless hero.
エミリアのためなのに。
命がある。命があれば未来がある。未来があれば希望がある。希望があれば可能性がある。私は君にあと何度落胆させられるんだろうね。ならば足りない覚悟を研ぐついでだ。君をもう一つ追い詰めよう。
The book tells me everything. Of course I can see the future.
近くに襲わせる依頼は私が出したものなのだからね。
What? To sharpen your resolve.
両方を救 ことはできない。君は最も大事なものを選ぶことになる。一つ取りこぼせば、あとは止まらない。やがて君は完成する。唯一以外を救わない。
Wow. Wow, he's forcing Subaru to make a sacrifice. You can't save everybody, Subaru. That's not what it means to be a champion of justice. If you try to save everybody, in the end, you end up saving nobody. What? You're 400 years old? You've waited 400 years. You've gone insane. I've had 400 years to go. And you see, I told you. I told you everybody here was related to Echidna. Wow, Subaru gave up.
俺が悪かったんです。だから
顔を上げてくれたまえよ、スバル君。
お願いします。屋敷を襲わせても無駄なんだ。誰も死んでも意味が。だからどうか。
資格は取り戻せる。状況は立て直せ
You
る。
can get the qualification back.
私の行動は変わらない。変わらず、君を追い詰め、覚悟を研ぎ、君を完成させよう。エキドナを理解しているのは、
You are not the only one who understands Echidna. I used to be her boyfriend or some shit from 400 years ago.
憎い？信じている。
Roswald was an agent of the witch this whole time. And therefore Elsa and Maylee's also like associated with Roswald then.
お前みたいにはならない。
All he sees is death before him.
どうしたらいいか教えてあげましょうか。
This must be the last episode to the first half.
それはひとまず
Wouldn't just have the same ending,
そ
right?
れより夏希さんですよ。行き詰まったんでしょ。どうすればいいのか知りたいんですよね。任せてください。
任せるって何が？
いいですか？これには準備があるんです。
準備？
Oh, what?
夏希スバル！
Damn, Otto just decked him in the face. What the fuck? This fucking background character, this side character, this random ass merchant from season 1 was a main character all along. It's like Historia from Attack on Titan from season 1 and 2 to season 3. Suddenly she just got the spotlight and was like shooting up, rocketing up best character ranks. Oh, Otto's like proving himself to be a real fucking bro, man. Holy shit. Otto's the true bro, the true best friend to Subaru this entire time, and I had no idea about it. Alright, I just thought he was just some random ass bitch from season 1. But damn, the guy's redeeming himself in my eyes. My perceptions of him have definitely did a 180 ever since season 1. Oh, wow. What an episode. 27 minutes. We're continuing on with these insanely long extended edition episodes, man. Oh my god. Wow. This episode packed, jam-packed full of content. So first of all, you got fucking the fact that this was probably the final episode of the season, not the previous one, because this one, I don't even actually know. Huh? It's in split curve, but like this episode didn't look like it wrapped up the season to be the first half either. So I don't know when the second half. It has to be this one. There's no way. There's 25 episodes. You wouldn't do like 14 and 11. 13 and 12 is probably the best, most common split that you can get. So one side would have the 13. I guess I miscalculated. The 13 is on this side, on the side that I'm on right now, not the side that I'm about to get into. So we've got 12 more episodes left, which is going to be season 2 part 2. So yeah, I guess this was the final season, the final episode of season 2, part 1. All right, the second half of when Sattler came in to join the Witches' Tea Party, and yeah, Sattler turned up, and she gave Subaru some very, very important piece of advice. Okay, it definitely blew my mind. It opened my mind as to why Subaru has been given this return by death authority of envy. Okay, so Subaru, all of this time, he's been using return by death, okay, as a means to just easily off himself every time a situation gets, you know, too tough to salvage, the situation's too grim, too hopeless, and Subaru uses that ability as an easy way out to just kill himself and reset himself to redo everything again and try to save everybody, right? So that's how Subaru's been perceiving the return by death ability that he's been given from Sattler this whole time. When in fact, that's not how he was supposed to be using it. That's one way he could have been using it and has been using it all of this time. But the way that Sattler sees the power that he gifted to Subaru, okay, was basically just a way to keep Subaru alive. It's kind of an oxymoron. Alright, the whole point of that ability is to have Subaru stay alive. But Subaru uses it to kill himself all the time to stay alive. Alright, get it, stay alive, huh? Get it, I can't believe I just said that, stay alive. So season 1, ED2, get it, stay alive. And you fucking like Emilia, like she looks like Sattler and Sattler looks like Emilia, and Emilia's singing that song in ED2 in season 1, Stay Alive, and you wonder who she's singing about to stay alive. Is it Subaru? She's singing the song to Subaru to stay alive. So it's like Emilia's the one singing the song to Subaru, or is it Sattler that's singing the song to Subaru, or is it both of them that's singing the song to Subaru? Because Emilia clearly is Sattler, because Sattler looks 100% like Emilia, so I don't know what the fuck that's all about. And then you have her telling him to stay alive. That song, that like the sloth factor, the witch's factor of envy, man. For him to slay alive, yeah, get it, slay himself to stay alive. The fucking envy's witch factor of him being able to return by death. Okay, like I guess Sattler gave him that power so that Subaru is less inclined to off himself, right? Like it's like every single. So actually, that's a good point. Now that I just said that, that's a good point, right? So that power, that return by death power, Sattler wants him to stay alive, right? But that power allows him to stay alive, but by causing him to kill himself in order to keep staying alive. Every time he dies, he's alive, right? So as we've learned from these 7 witches so far in this tea party, is that Subaru's like, I can't comprehend any of you. In the same way that you can't comprehend, why would you give somebody the power to stay alive by killing themselves, right? People really don't die when they are killed. People stay alive when they are killed. So that whole power is a literal paradox. It's a fucking oxymoron in terms of wanting what you want that person to do and what the actual ability of the witch's power is and how you go about activating the witch's power. You know, killing somebody to keep them alive, you know. Subaru said, right, I can't comprehend any of you guys. You guys are all fucking just so hopeless, all right, in your ideologies, in the way that how you guys perceive everything. That's the reason why you're all witches. All 7 of these witches, the way that they view things, all right, is in a very twisted manner. Like if you go think about, you know, like the what's her name, Daphne, and her giant abomination of experimental creatures, right, of gluttony. She made them all to go and, you know, try and solve world hunger, right? But then she gave, you know, the solution to world hunger sentiency and the will to survive on its own. So, you know, the solution to world hunger also wants to solve its own world hunger by eating the people who are trying to, you know, solve their own solutions to world hunger. So can you see, it just keeps circling around in the same way that if you kill yourself, you stay alive. But in order to stay alive, you need to kill yourself to stay alive. But to stay alive, you need to kill yourself. In the same way that you try to feed everybody with these gluttony monsters, but the monsters want to also feed themselves to stay alive. But then they stay alive, but then you need to eat them, but they need to eat you. So it's like all of these witches, in some shape or form, their ideologies, okay, are very... It's a self-perpetuating circle. It's like an Ouroboros, alright? It's just never ending. It's an infinite just circle jerk of self-contradiction, paradox, okay? Like, all of these witches' ideologies, they're just so fucking twisted. And I guess that's what makes them witches, right? And as Subaru said before when he was talking to Daphne, it's like, I agree with what you said with your whole idea of, you know, the fucking making those gluttony monsters, but they also need to eat. You know, you can't be a one-sided love, right? You eating them, but they don't have a will of their own. They don't get a voice. They don't get a say in whether they want to be eaten or not. They also have lives. They also have families. They also have their own free will to decide whether they want to get eaten or not. And then Subaru's like, yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but it's so fucking wrong. So yeah, these witches, man. The moral of the story with these witches, TLDR, their philosophy's very, very fucked up. All right, you agree with them in some shape or form. They're not 100% wrong, but it's very fucked up. Okay, they're trying to make it as fair as possible, and it just makes everything just seem so corrupt at the same time. So she gave Subaru that power. Right, in a twisted, just fucked up way of trying to tell Subaru, you need to love yourself more, Subaru. Because Subaru, as we've learned so far from this show, like, this show's been just talking about the same theme of self-deprecation and not loving yourself enough and just belittling yourself enough, having no sense of self-worth and self-value. We've seen that from Rem, we've seen that from Emilia. Now we're seeing that a little bit from Betty as well. Betty's also the self-deprecation, not fucking... valuing herself enough, okay, losing all hope. And now we go back to Subaru again, self-deprecating. I mean, he's been deprecating himself all fucking series so far, and then, you know, you think he gets some character development and he finally knows how to move on, all right, and just forget about his dark past and learn to finally build himself up again as a character. But then suddenly he goes and relapses and he's back to sitting on the floor crying, mental breakdown, mind break, self-deprecation, lack of value of his own self-worth yet again. So yeah, Subaru, he doesn't value himself a whole lot. He's like, well, you know, a loser like me, who the fuck's gonna care when I'm gone? And then Sattler's there like, you need to love yourself more. You don't seem to understand. Even Minerva, right, was talking some sense into him. It's like, oh, you know, you think the whole world revolves around you. You think you can just so easily off yourself and no one's gonna care. It's like, you saw what happened in those fucking alternate reality trials in Subaru's second trial. Okay, look at a future where, you know, a place that used to be in a previous alternate world line where you disappeared and killed yourself. Okay, if those world lines continue to exist, how do you think all those people would feel when they find you dead on the floor because you offed yourself, right? So Subaru, he's been putting himself behind, he's been putting everybody else ahead of him. He's been putting others before himself all of this time, like Emiya Shiro, alright, which was the reason why Rin got so pissed off of Emiya, right, in Unlimited Blade Works. As long as other people are happy, then I'm happy. I'll put others before myself any day of the week, okay? You know, it's... I mean, again, it's back to... I mean, I've already explained this to death when we were watching Unlimited Blade Works, right? Fate Stay Night. It's a clash of ideologies. One person values themselves before others. Other people value others before themselves. And it's just like, who's really right here? It's a battle of ideologies. You just got to pick a side, all right? You're both right. Subaru does not value himself all that much, okay? He thinks of himself as a worthless piece of shit. So he would gladly give up his life if it means to save everybody and see them smiling again, which is kind of like Shiro, right? Shiro does not value himself. It's just the fact that he just also wants to see other people smile, and to see other people survive and be happy, it'll make him happy, it'll make him relieved. I guess it's not really as far gone as Subaru just saying, you know, he hates himself and he has no value, no worth for himself. That's why he's so willing to just throw himself in face first, head first, alright? Anytime when the situation gets hopeless in order to try and save everyone, but killing himself in the process. Sattler is trying to teach him to look at things in a whole new leaf, a whole new perspective. Alright, love yourself more. Alright, when you want to save everybody, you should be part of that equation. That also means to save yourself. Saving everybody doesn't mean save everybody, but neglect yourself. You just don't seem to value your own life, okay, as much as you should do. And even Roswald said, All right. If to save yourself means to have a future, means to have the future means the hope. To have hope means possibility. Possibility means to save everybody. Subaru, you need to learn the importance of self-worth. Okay, maybe if you were to stop using your witch's power, okay, to keep killing yourself as an excuse to keep killing yourself, but instead, okay, not using the witch's power. But try to finally basically that witch's power is there to teach Subaru after endless. Yeah, that's a good point. Now that I've said that, that's a good point. That witch's power was there for Subaru to exploit, and as a result of exploitation, he will eventually come to the realization of what it truly meant. So that return by death was a sort of like a plot device, was sort of like a setup piece of instrument to try and teach Subaru the true moral of the story. Subaru thought, oh hey, I got this power to keep coming back from the dead. My life is so worthless. I don't give a shit about, my own self-worth. I have no value in my own life. I'll just keep using it and keep killing myself. And then eventually he'll realize that maybe I shouldn't do this. Okay, he sees these alternate world lines of what happens when he kills himself. He sees what happens every time he has to go through that ordeal of having to kill himself. It's not nice. It's not cool. All right? So, through countless deaths of Subaru on himself, he soon realizes that maybe killing yourself isn't that great of an option to solve all your... I guess maybe that's another one of the fucking morals of the story in this show. I don't know if that seems like it. All right? That actually, now that I said that, a common recurring trope, a common recurring moral of the story, a message so far that we've beaten into death so far from this show is, the value of self-worth and, loving yourself, and the whole idea of self-deprecation and belittling yourself. These characters hating on themselves when they should learn to love themselves more because other people love them, right? We've already done all of that. Well, another moral of the story is, I guess addressing this issue of suicide, all right? So I guess the author is trying to teach people, I guess, the value of life. Get it? The value of life. That was another title, right? That was another previous episode title, right? The more I try and extrapolate and interpret and analyze the way that these episodes, this story, this whole series has been written, and all of the underlying metaphorical and messages that go behind every last intricate speck of how ReZero has been written. I don't know whether the author, did plan for any of this. Maybe I'm making it all up, pulling it all out of my ass. But from the way that I interpret it, this author seems like a fucking genius, right? In the way that he's trying to tell this story and try to explore all of these themes, all of these messages, these take-home messages that he's trying to teach the audience. All right. So suicide, another topic that I guess he's trying to, teach the audience. It's not good. Suicide's not good. Loving yourself is good. All right. Stop trying to find an easy way out in life when the going gets tough, which is what Subaru has been doing, just offing himself. And I guess Sattler and the return by death and all of these witches trying to teach him about just trying to love himself more. That's the end take-home message, I guess, from what Subaru has been learning. All right, and Subaru's like, I will save you, Sattler. She literally looks like Emilia. Alright, I'm looking at her right now with the veil uncovered. That is fucking Emilia, right? Bro. What the fuck? And, Roswald. And then the second half of the episode was the conversation with Roswald. So Roswald was the one that sent the fucking assassins to the mansion that whole time to try and force Subaru to take action quicker. And also to force Subaru to stop resetting, and he needs to learn to susume and accept that there will be necessary sacrifices along the way. You cannot save everybody. I don't know what the fuck Roswald's deal is, huh? So he's been here for 400 years, just like Betty, just like Ryuzu and Echidna and whatnot. So like I said, they're all one happy family. Can't say the same for Ram. Ram got picked up later on along the way, so maybe Ram isn't part of this plot. I mean, since Roswald fucking killed Ram, right, by going and shoving his fucking fist right through her chest and just puncturing her right out through the other end, all right, in that previous episode, I guess Ram isn't, part of Subaru's I meant Roswald's inner circle. It's all the people that lived for 400 years as part of Roswald's inner circle that's got something to do with the Witch of Greed. And Roswald has some kind of goal that he wants to achieve. Maybe, I don't know, it's probably something to do with Echidna. Alright, his affiliations with Greed, but... Actually, yeah. Right? Yeah. So, well, actually, no. No, previously I didn't say who Elsa and Mei Li were associated with. So that Cornelius Regulus guy, he's the Archbishop of Greed. So he's supposed to be the avatar of Echidna, the simp of Echidna. Okay, he's supposed to represent Echidna. What an angry piece of shit, man, to represent such a lovely woman, okay, that clearly likes Subaru better. Alright, but this crazy ass nut, this Regulus Cornelius guy thinks that he can represent Echidna with such a disgusting attitude. That he looks more like Pride. Alright, that fucking Regulus guy looks more like a Pride guy with a massive ego than Greed. He doesn't look like somebody that cares about, well, I mean, Betelgeuse, was he slothful? I mean, he wasn't really that lazy compared to what we saw Sekhmet doing, just lying there doing jack shit. The Gluttony guy clearly, you know, fit the bill. He was going around eating everybody. So he definitely would suit Daphne's being the avatar of Gluttony. But this Regulus guy, he looked more like Pride, alright? Every time somebody spoke out against him, he just gets so triggered and tilted and butthurt. So he looked more like somebody with a massive ego, aka Pride, than somebody that would be the Archbishop of Greed. You'd think Greed would be somebody else that just, you know, clearly looked like they had no self-control, wanting to just greed it up, wanting everything. But yeah, I didn't say who Elsa and Mei Li's associations were with. But I guess they're agents of Greed. And those Wa beasts, those Ma beasts, those like witch fiend beasts that Mei Li are controlling are also somehow, you know, Echidna's stuff. Huh? They're witch fiends. They are. What are they anyway? They seem to be attracted to the stench of the witch and want to eat Subaru. Even like the fucking whale was attracted to the stench of the witch. But actually, no, I guess so. It's the stench of Sattler. So, of course, these witch fiends would want to eat him because I guess all of the other creatures were made by all the other witches and all the other witches hate Sattler. So, I guess that's the reason why those fiends would go and eat them rather than, you know, want to suddenly obey Subaru because they smell the witch. It's not the witch that they wanted to smell and wanted to obey. So somehow these witch fiends are also associated with, I guess, Echidna, and, you know, Mei Li is the one controlling them now for some reason. I don't know how. How the hell did she get that power, huh? And then Elsa's here also serving under Roswald, which is also an agent of the Witch of Greed. So it's like all of these guys were serving the witches all along, and Subaru was none the wiser. Actually, I'm glad Rem conked out. Maybe that's the reason why they did Rem a favor, alright, and knocked her out for this whole season. Because I think if Rem was here, Rem would be a huge fucking problem having to learn all of this stuff alongside Subaru. Rem would just be pulling out her fucking ball and chain every situation and probably make things worse for Subaru and get Subaru killed even quicker and probably more times. So it's probably a good idea that the plot kept Rem knocked out for this whole fucking arc so that she wouldn't just go into a blind fit of rage every single time she learnt something that Subaru learnt so far every episode from this season. Alright, and at the end there, you know, Otto just came in and kicked Subaru in the face, punched Subaru in the face. Holy shit, 53 minutes! Oh, we're going again with these hour-long recordings, man. No. All right, we're going to have to wrap things up. This is taking too long. I still got more episodes to do today. I'm going to wrap things up, guys, okay? So thank you all so much for tuning in. That's all I want to speculate upon and brainstorm about and discuss about, okay, from this episode. Okay, thank you all so much for watching the reaction video, whether you're on Patreon or on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, please Remember to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Okay, subscribe to the Too Lazy for Life Sloth Army. Join the community. All right, and also consider joining the Discord and the Patreon while you're at it. All right, big massive shout out to all of my existing patrons right now supporting me on Patreon. And last but not least, big massive shout outs once again to the Sloth Troopers, Tomato, Eaters Musketeer, and Flawed Otaku, and also to the Supreme Sloth supporter, as always, Zozo. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support me to the highest levels of the Too Lazy for Life patron subscription platter. If anyone else out there also wants to subscribe and flex on the community as a Too Lazy for Life patron, financially support me and back me in my pursuits to becoming a full-time content creator here on the wide web, please hit the link down below in the video description on YouTube. Have a browse of all of my subscription tiers and pick the best one that suits you. Okay, you'll be directly supporting me, and I'll be very, very grateful if you do that. You unlock all of the full uncut and edited reactions that you'll not find anywhere else, and also get 1 week early access ahead of the YouTube crowd for future releases. I don't know if I said that already previously, but hey, whatever, let's reiterate on that one more time. Okay, and also last but not least, now that we finally moved on to that stage, okay, please go and subscribe and follow, okay, my Twitch channel, my Twitch stream. I stream every week, Fridays to Sundays, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. GMT, wherever you are in the world. I don't know what time that is, but that's the time in the UK that I stream at. Please make an account on Twitch. Follow the stream. All right, live reactions and gameplay all week long for you guys. I would very much appreciate it if you go support me there as well, because that's where I'm spending most of my time now these days. I'm transitioning over from YouTube to Twitch. So please go and make an account and follow me and show your support. All right, so that is it for this video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'll see you guys all next time for episode 14 of season 2 of ReZero. Okay, but until then, that is it from me. Bye for now!